Alright, welcome everybody into the fold. Woo!
Yeah.
That joke if you played Labo and folded on the cardboard. Well, we are a small community of people who have played with this $70 cardboard and like the heck out of it. Or some of you are just dragged here by someone, or some of you are just curious.
That's me.
About why is this any good? So, welcome back. I need to don the proper attire.
Oh, nice. I should have brought mine and deal with it.
You can bully him later.
So, I want to get you involved right away. Give us a shout if you came because you actually remember Labo.
Nice.
Now, give us a shout if you came just to support one of these three lovely panelists.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And now, give a shout if you are in the, I have no idea what this is, but it sounds interesting.
Whoa.
Okay. Thanks for coming.
In the background, that was my piano rendition of the Labo theme. If you were listening to that, you can hear the full thing on my
This
channel.
guy's an amazing musician. Azran here is an amazing musician.
Alright, so right away, two of you are going to get picked for the largest challenge that we have today. Labo started with the humble RC car. And two of you are going to get to make your own during the first portion of the panel and then fight it out for the grand prize. So take a look at your card, because we're going to call it two randomly generated numbers. First, does someone have the card 178? If not, I will call another number. 178. No, 158.
Wow.
It does it 158.
We'll hit someone eventually.
Surprising.
104.
There
Alright,
we go.
Yeah.
Come on up to one of these chairs at our side
Oh my
table.
god, it's Princess Zelda herself.
You're here?
I love it.
I'm glad to see you're doing okay.
As the first one picked, you can pick the elephant or the construction vehicle as your basis. The heads are removable if you'd rather not have that, but I'll explain in a bit.
No magic allowed, Zelda.
Your opponent could be number 173. Do we have a 173?
Not yet.
Okay, it could be 008.
Come on, number 8.
Just 8.
Nice.
Alright.
All right. Right up front.
I'm sorry you're at a disadvantage because of Zelda.
It's okay, we already outlawed magic, so it should be good. Yeah.
Alright, so I have provided random bits of arts and crafts supplies as well as some glue and some tape for each of you. You can augment the RC car however you want. These are spares, these are not my personal ones, so don't worry about ruining it. Just have fun with it. Your goal will be to knock over your opponent by ramming into them. So keep that in mind. You might decide to build something for the purpose of knocking it over. That's glitter glue in the container there. I don't know how sticky it is. The one thing to note, do not mess with the three little legs on the bottom. That is how the RC car moves. Those need to be in contact with the table so that the vibration carries it. And the other bit of that is that there's holes on the side where the Joy-Cons slide in. Those are the things that vibrate. So you don't want to block that hole. But anything else is fair game. Your time will end once we're through the first portion of the panel, so it's not a specific time limit, but I will give you a warning when we're on the last slide before the battle. In the meantime, we're going to be talking about all the Labo kits that were ever released.
Woo!
Hey, called up for this challenge, stay tuned. We got a trivia challenge at halftime, so some of you may get called up for that for a different price. I just realized we didn't introduce ourselves, but I wanted to let them get going.
No, it's good that they have a little more time.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
This is our first time meeting in person. Anyway, I go by Azran127 online. I do music and stuff, and I organize this. And I have a lot of Labo experience, but all the kids love everyone.
So, I'm Cutie Caitlin. I'm a personal friend of Azran's and part of media, I guess, with Gaming Trend. I have no experience with Labo. I've seen it at Walmart, so.
I'll get to try it firsthand today.
I'm scared.
My name is Ash Paulsen. I am the creator and co-founder of Good Vibes Gaming on YouTube and Patreon and Twitter and Twitch. And thank you very much. And I met these two lovely people through our community. They are two very valued members of the GVG community. And if you don't know who we are a gaming channel founded on the pillars of inclusivity, kindness, and lifting up marginalized voices. And I met these two amazing people through our community. So I'm very lucky to be up here on stage with these two incredible, kind folks. And happy to be up here on stage with all of you you're watching us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Really, thank you. Me and Caitlin, this is our first time doing one of these panels, so it means a lot.
Yeah, seriously, thank you so much.
The turnout is enormous. I was expecting like 20 to 30.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this room to be almost full. This is great.
All right, well now it's time to talk about making an impression, our impressions of the Labo products. This whole presentation is themed after the slogan, Make, Play, Discover. So right now we're gonna make our impressions and then later we're gonna play in those challenges. And before we leave, we hope you discover, possibly for the first time, what makes Labo so special. So first, let's go over the reveal trailer that I may not have taken the world by storm, but I was obsessed with this. I'm gonna skip around this a bit for time.
God, this brings me back.
So, Ash, you were very much invested in media at the time, and you may recall Nintendo advertised this as, we didn't know what it was, but it was a new experience for kids and kids at heart.
Right.
What were you thinking about that at the time?
I was just thinking how very Nintendo this is. This is something that really only Nintendo would have done in the gaming space. And it's something that is very mad scientist-y and so very Nintendo-esque for that reason.
Caitlin, did you see this trailer?
So I know the exact room I was standing in when the trailer was like announced. I used to do security guard work, so it was constant patrols, and I get it like a buzz because we all have notifications for Nintendo, right? And they just posted the trailer out of nowhere. This was, like you were saying, it was such a weird, unique concept that only they would ever do. Like, even if it wasn't successful, something like the Virtual Boys comes to mind, where they did VR in the most crazy way possible that no one would ever expect.
Right, so I know when I saw this trailer, I was at my first job, second year of my first job, and I barely knew my coworkers at all. It was not a very fun job. It is not the job I hold now. This was way back. So if any of those coworkers are listening, it's not you.
It's him.
But despite this, I never let my interest in gaming bleed out into my job because I'm a professional teacher on the side. That's how I pay my bills. I teach math, and we're going to talk education later with this. But I'm going around showing all my coworkers, look, they press the button on the cardboard and it makes a sound. Look at what technology can do at this point. I was just enamored. So I don't know what about it precisely, but it stuck. Like the reflective stickers on the back. So yeah, we had the variety kit. We'll talk about the specifics in a bit. But this trailer is just full of look at the cardboard in motion. Look at these little sound effects. Look at this guy who did not make it into Smash.
We were gypped. We got Sora, but not this guy? Come on.
Look at this giant robot backpack.
He should have been Smash.
That robot was cool to see come.
Here are the vocals.
Should have been an assist trophy.
Okay, wait, I need to stop it on that frame. Oh. Well, I wrote that. Back to that frame if I can find it. Okay, but when you're building the Labo, they have these video instructions for how to assemble all the pre-made pieces. And it's so much more intuitive than something Lego does a decent job. There's visual aids there. They're showing you what the next step should look like. And that's good for the limitations of paper, but we're on a game console. We have the technology to show people the pieces at any angle they want, at any zoom level they want. So that, Ash, you've built a little bit of this in the past. How were the instructions?
I have built a lot of it of this in the past because I built the first two, the Toy-Con 01 and 02, the robot kit and the variety kit for the channel I used to be at before coming and doing founding GVG. And this is the part I want to remember because, as you were saying, with the technology of having a touch screen and being able to pinch and pull and look at everything from different angles, it was actually really well done, and it made certain parts of building these things easier than, say, when you have like something I'm sure we've all built something from like IKEA, right? And invariably, one of those diagrams isn't drawn quite right, and it confuses the hell out of you. And but that was not an issue with Nintendo Labo. The problem with building Labo is what it does to your hands. All that cardboard I was building stuff for like 8+ hours because I was doing both kits.
But that is if you build it in one sitting. You can pause
You can
anytime
pause.
and then pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
That's another thing the Switch can do.
I did not pause. There was no collecting $200, no passing go. I built 2 of these things in a row nonstop, and my hands were so dried and just not feeling great, scratchy after the whole experience.
It's definitely something you pace yourself with, right?
That
Because
is, yeah.
it's that experience of building it is like what you're paying for, so to speak, right? Like it's a physical toy, you
Right.
know? So that's the real joy of it.
And speaking of it being very toy-like, like towards the end of this trailer, we get a look at like, it's made of cardboard. You can paint it. You can tape colored paper to it. You can deck it out in any way that you want, as long as, I mean, you might be a little intimidated by that idea if you're me, because I'm not very artistically inclined. It's one of my few weaknesses as a person.
He's lying.
But yeah, like the idea that you can take these and make them your own, and like if you want your house to look all colorful, you can do that. Whereas if it was just a one and done pre-built product, you don't get to control that.
Right.
And if it was made of anything but cardboard, how would you have done that? So I think that's where I'm gonna stop on the reveal trailer, and now we're gonna go through the kits in a little bit. We won't spend too much time on each thing. There's only an hour left. 46 minutes left. But here, first we have the variety kit. And this released on, not kidding, 4/20/2018. The date's at the end of the trailer. I probably should have shown that. But what our contestants are working on right now are the RC cars. And this is a very simple Labo. It takes less than a half hour to build. And it's pretty much just one piece folded together the right way, and then you have a physical toy that you can drive around. Thoughts?
It's such a simple kit, and I think that's why it's like a good starter one, right? Like you were saying,
Yeah.
it's just one piece, and then the little antenna for your Switch, right? And then
That was
like
the
what you
first
do
one.
with it is like super creative.
That was the first Toy-Con I built too, and I remember thinking, yeah, it didn't take very long, and I remember thinking, oh, all the other ones are going to be this breezy, this is going to be nothing. I was wrong. Famous last words. But yeah, it was fun and easy to build, and it just gave you like an immediate sense of like how creative Nintendo really was with this in terms of just having all the little pieces of cardboard cut just right so that everything fits together. It really is pretty ingenious when you look back on it.
And they try and give you a bunch of different ways to play with the same toy. You can just drive this around with no rhyme or reason, sure. But you can build the second one and battle it out. We're gonna see that live later. And the feature that, unless you had the kit, you probably didn't even know about this feature, but the right Joy-Con has the IR camera. And
Right.
that is used in a lot of the Joy-Con to recognize the movements of stickers to generate the input. However, what it does on the RC car is it gives you an option to look at your Switch tablet and see what the camera's seeing in night vision.
What?
Yeah, you can drive around and use your Switch tablet to see night vision
It's so cool.
through the IR camera.
I literally didn't know about that.
And there's these 3 little standees in the picture with the reflective sticker dots on them. Those, if the IR camera sees them, you can activate self-driving mode, and it will follow those dots.
Eat your heart
You
out.
can make your own little self-driving course. You can even move it around and have it follow you automatically because it sees the sticker.
It's such a great thing, I think, especially for kids, in much the same way a game like Minecraft is, because it encourages creativity and building, and not just playing something that has been pre-made for you. You can really create your own games with Labo.
I think that's something they really wanted to focus on with the trailers, like you were showing, that like painting and coloring different things and whatnot. But like a small teaser, Labo goes way harder than that.
Oh yeah.
Right. I'm not going to use the segue because this is an all-ages panel, but the next one up is the fishing rod.
He told me.
And I brought a fishing rod. Because see, the game of the fishing rod is very straightforward. I don't think I need to explain to you that you're just using the fishing rod to catch fish. What's special to me about this one is that these peripherals also go the extra mile to give you a sense of immersion. This fishing rod, the way that the string is constructed with a rubber band spool inside, it creates actual tension to simulate like the tension of a fishing line. And you get to physically hold the thing in your hand and reel it in. There's even this little piece that makes a clicking sound as you're reeling it in to like, give you the sound immersion. So, because Caitlin has actually not tried Labo before, I want her to experience this one so that she can see for herself how it feels. So I'm gonna grab that fishing rod for you.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. I'm scared.
It's weird. We'll get to it, but I have very vivid memories of building every one of these except for the house. It's like a blank spot in my brain. I don't know why I don't remember building the house.
Alright, so this, that flicker fell out. That's the thing, pieces can fall out of these and then you can put them back.
All ages. Okay, we're all set. Thank you.
Alright, so Caitlin, try pulling on it and turning the reel. Pull it at different angles. Really get a feel for the string.
It does make a click, that's so crazy. Oh, wait.
And the fact this is all constructed with nothing other than cardboard, rubber band, and a string is just so cool to me.
Do we know who came up with this at Nintendo?
If I had a lot more time when planning this, I put in a lot of time already planning this. But it might have been nice for me to give proper credits, but it might be something to look into another time.
Because I would love to know the board meeting for this. They're like, okay, so there's cardboard and string, and you put the switch in it sometimes.
And that was why it was called the cardboard meeting.
Very nice.
Thank you, for that demonstration. So the house. Ash said he doesn't remember it, so.
It's weird. Like I said, I remember everything else, but not building the house.
Yeah, so the house is a different sort of toy con. Not much of a game, per se. It's a pet sim, like a Tamagotchi kind of deal. You got a little creature living in the house. You can shake them up with the gyro. Or you can insert those little buttons and then stuff will show up in its house. And you can fill the room with water, or make a little bouncy pad, or a gust of wind.
So
That was really just experiment and see kooky stuff.
I wonder if the idea for that was to show people that you can program or create different things that doesn't have to be a game, right? You're not catching, there's no goal in mind. It's just playing around for fun,
That's a good theory.
And very quickly to answer your previous question, the producer for Nintendo Labo is Koichi Kawamoto, and the director is Tsubasa Sakaguchi.
Oh,
So
All right,
that's
quick round of applause for those names. As just said, on the off chance that we see this on the internet.
yes, thank you.
I'll tweet them. I know them.
The variety kit wraps up at the motorbike, which kind of self-explanatory. It's, we had the Wii wheel back in Mario Kart 8. This is kind of an extension of that, but you can turn the handles and there's a little reverse gear.
And there's resistance too when you turn the throttle. It's really cool. There's actual resistance, and this was one I really enjoyed playing with. But after you said we're wrapping up with the motorbike, but there's the
I'm at the motorbike and the next one. I'm
I was just saying, you're the musician in here.
I am.
Okay, for sure. I'm you can't forget the piano. You're the musician.
Yeah, okay. Motorbike's big thing was that there was a track editor. There's a tiny little bike on there, and you technically don't need to put the Joy-Con in it, but they're use this to point where you want the bike to go, and it will generate the track in that direction. And you can curve it, you can bank it.
It's really cool. This is probably, of the variety kit, this was the one that I had the most fun playing with, I think, consistently. I'm not a savant musician like Azran, so I like playing around with the piano, but I couldn't make anything that sounded good.
Yeah, the piano's the big one at the end. It does what it says it does. And it has weird sound effects if you put in the knobs, like you can turn the notes into old men yelling.
It's really cool. That's
My favorite.
I think it's the most fun to build too. I had the most fun building the piano.
Sure, but you see those cards at the bottom?
Yep.
Next to the keys, some are cut into triangular shapes. You can put those in a slot at the top of the piano, go into studio mode, and the keys will generate a sound that matches the waveform you cut out.
That's so cool.
What?
Yeah, the IR camera in the back of the piano where you put the Joy-Con will look at your card, and you can make your own out of just ordinary paper and stick it in there. So you can make as much as you want. But if it's like, oh, this is kind of close to a clarinet's waveform shape, then you get something that sounds closer to a clarinet. It's very hard to do precisely with at-home materials, but one guy 3D printed a bunch of them to match SNES sound fonts.
That's so cool. I didn't know that. That is so cool.
I want remixes.
Yeah, if you Google that, you'll find the person, and you can print their designs. Like, they made them available.
And you can like make them at home?
Well, you need a 3D printer to get real good. I tried cutting them out of paper myself, but again, it's a lot of small curves and bits and bobs that scissors are just not good with.
That makes sense.
On the same day, they released the robot kit, and I'm gonna have Ash start this one.
This one was probably even more than anything, the variety kit. The piano, as I said, was the toughest to build in that one, but it paled in comparison to this one. This was a tougher one to build for sure. And I don't know that it's really, I mean, it's cool, but I don't know that it's, the appeal lasts very long. Once you've played it for like an hour, I think you've kind of gotten most of what you're going to get out of it. At least that was the case for me. I think it was, the building process was really cool, and I think it's good for kids to experience, but there's not a whole lot of game for the time that you spend building it.
Well, you say that, Ash, but there is not only city destruction mode where you go for the high score, but
Right.
there is a challenge mode where you have to platform through stages to reach the target at the end in the time limit. And that makes use of the fact that you can transform your robot into a car by squatting or fly by extending your arms outward like wings. And then there was a 2-player battle mode.
Right.
Because everyone has 2 robot kits sitting at home to battle each other.
You're asking a lot of the consumer.
That's probably the most Nintendo ever asked of a consumer to have like multiplayer access since the original version of Four Swords, when you had to have the GameCube and Game Boy Advance linking like 4 GBA link cables and 4 GBAs.
Hundreds.
You would need 1 Nintendo Switch, 2 pairs of Joy-Con,
Yeah.
and 2 robot kits. And when the robot kit came out, MSRP was $80.
Right. Or I should have said Four Swords Adventures, but yeah, no, it's true, Azure. Like you said, there were 2 different gameplay modes. There was 2-player. I never got to try 2-player, but even with the 2 different modes, and I did try them both, I didn't feel like I kept wanting to play them both for more than like an hour and change. But maybe I'm just easily bored. I don't think I am.
I 100% in challenge mode.
See, look at this humble brag over here. Okay, I hear you.
What was humble about that?
The robot kit was always cool because as someone, even though I've not obviously ever physically played it, seeing what was that giant robot game that was meant for Wii U or whatever,
Right.
like turning into this, absolute 4D chess and creativity. Like what a
Seriously.
wild way to bring that back, you know?
Yeah, and like, sorry, I guess the big thing with the robot kit is you see those strings that are extending out from the backpack to the person's legs and hands. And if you punch while holding those pieces of cardboard, it pulls the string. There's a weight in the backpack, and that's your input that the IR camera reads. But the thing about those strings is they made them adjustable.
Right.
You can like unwind the string to fit if you're taller or larger, or you can wind it back up if you're shorter or just need it more tight. So I had my kid sister play with this thing, but then I could go right back to playing with the thing as a grown man.
Right. I remember, it may have just been my error in constructing it, but I remember having the string catch a few times when I was trying to adjust it for my height. Because I'm a particularly tall person, but at the end of the day, it still is an incredible bit of engineering and very rewarding to put together just in terms of what you see when you put it together in front of you.
All right, I want to go extra rapid fire on
Go
the
for it.
remaining kits. So, vehicle kit. You build this key that holds the Joy-Con, and then you can insert it to different holes on the steering wheel, the propellers for the submarine, or the joystick for the plane. Big thing about this is it's probably the best game out of all the Labo kits. It was very featured. It had an open world adventure mode where you go around this island in any vehicle you want.
That's awesome.
And you help out citizens with various tasks, and I 100%ed that mode too.
It sounds like, wasn't there like a Lego Island game that like did that? That sounds great.
Oh, extreme stunts.
Thank you, Gordon Freeman.
Yeah.
I could see maybe I haven't played this one, Azrael, but you could probably tell me if you're flying in the biplane. Did it feel like Pilot Wings, like Labo Pilot Wings a little bit?
I hadn't played Pilot Wings at that time. I have since. But no, not really. It felt very loose.
Oh, okay. Very cool though. This is the only kit I have no experience with.
Yeah, and they really encourage you to rapid fire switch between vehicles because all of a sudden you're driving, you come to a body of water, all right, let's get in the submarine, propel myself towards this underwater object, shoot an anchor at it, and then, oh, let me just hop in my plane and fly away from the surface of the water to where I want to go next. And if you pull the key out of the joystick, you enter parachute mode and you just slowly descend, and the Joy-Con gyro controls which way you're falling.
Why did we never get a Labo port of Diddy Kong Racing? That would have been perfect.
I don't think I want that remake, no offense.
But there was also a racing mode and another battle mode, but for cars.
Okay.
And last but certainly not least, the one most people probably got their hands on, the VR kit. This is our final slide before your time is up on the Super Challenge. So make final adjustments now.
Hurry up, Zelda.
I've got a name for it.
Oh.
We'll hear that when it comes time.
And I heard your opponent over there. Oh, I've built these before.
Oh, okay, it's getting spicy over here.
We got a real slobber knocker. Play Cuphead.
So Ash, give me your highlights of anything in the VR kit.
This is the only one I bought for myself because I wanted to see Nintendo's take on VR with cardboard essentially, and it's certainly not a premium VR experience by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a pretty cool entry level one for what, $70 or so, or $80. And I thought it was really neat. I played with a bunch it comes with like 50 different little mini games or something, 40 or 50. I probably played like half of them. And then one of the things that I was looking forward to was not too long after this came out, Sakurai announced that there would be VR functionality in Smash Ultimate. And it turned out to be that really you're just looking at stages through the VR lens, and you can kind of look around and peek around the corners. And it's pretty cool, but it's nothing major. But I think this is a pretty cool thing to experience if you've never even touched VR before and you don't want to spend like $500 on a Quest or whatever. This is kind of a cool way to get like VR Lite at an entry-level friendly price, I think.
So Caitlin, looking at these pictures, which peripheral are you most curious about as a newcomer?
The elephant's the funniest one.
Yeah, the elephant is actually pretty great because that was the 3D art studio.
Oh. Sure.
Well, actually, it was two modes. There was a marble run mode where you would use your trunk to. The idea behind the trunk is that it's measuring the distance from your hand to the rest of your body so that you can actually like reach forward or back in 3D and move something in a 3D space. And that's why it's got reflective stickers all over its face. Yeah, that's the tracking. Right?
Oh, I see. So, I see. It's facing the literal face in the IR cameras. That's so cool.
So they had built-in tracking that way. So the marble run, you would assemble a slide for marbles to reach the goal in 3D space. But then if you didn't want it gamified, you could go to 3D Art Studio and just make something. Or you could even play Guess the Object with a second player by passing the goggles. You didn't have to buy a second VR kit.
Right.
Like my sister would draw something, and then I would get to look at it and try and guess what it is.
I particularly enjoyed the blaster because it gave me major Super Scope 6 vibes. So I grew up with a Nintendo and Super Nintendo, and I remember playing a lot of Super Scope 6 with my dad, and the blaster definitely brought back those vibes, and I was very nostalgic for that time with the blaster, the VR kit.
They really knew what they were doing with the name. It's literally like the NES Zapper, and then it's the blaster.
Blaster, yeah. Totally.
Yeah, that one also had a 2-player mode where you could take turns shooting fruit towards a group of hippos, and whoever fed the most hippos would win. Every person in my house played that hippo game. Every one of them. This includes my dad, who does not like this stuff in the slightest. So there is some broad appeal to be had here.
I don't understand why new Pokemon Snap wasn't compatible with the camera mode.
That's a good point.
Although I'll be honest, the new Pokemon Snap is such a gorgeous game on the Switch, and the VR kit didn't have the best resolution. Also, they had kind of phased out Labo by the time that came out.
Fair enough.
So maybe it would have ruined the experience a little bit.
You know what's really interesting is that I've done various kinds of VR over the years, and I'm not one of those people who gets sick ever with VR, except for the time that I tried Labo VR with Breath of the Wild, and I immediately, like 5 minutes in, I suddenly knew what everyone else is talking about when they say they got sick playing VR. I don't know why, I don't know what the difference is, but yeah, the only time was Breath of the Wild.
All right, and yeah, so that's where I'm gonna leave it. Oh, right, the last thing about this. Ever since they introduced the OLED Switch, which is just ever so slightly larger and has a lot less bezel, it's not compatible with the VR goggle. I tried. I mean, you can do it, but the view is ruined. This is why I still have my base model Switch, is in case I want to play more Labo. So, be warned. That's why I think they're just done with the product line. Unfortunately, it's been like 5 years, and now the OLED doesn't really fit the kits.
Well, we got this cool panel out of it, am I right?
Yeah. And now I think we're past halftime, but we're gonna squeeze in the challenges now. So I'm gonna switch the feed over to our live battle cam.
Oh, there's a camera.
Going to switch the feed to our live battle cam.
There we go. Yeah.
Yes. Ash, Caitlin, go help him with that. I will finish this. Alright, everyone should now be able to see the view of our battle cam.
Yeah! Look at those battle pods!
That's cool. The Reefer versus the Delirious.
The other one is the Final Fantasy boss.
Yeah. Can we get the Q&A mic on if it's not already? You use that one.
Hello. Okay, there we go. I just wanted to quickly say that I named mine Crack Naboris. And I just want you to know that if you beat me, you side with Calamity Ganon. So.
Oh.
Any words from the opponent?
I named mine Jimmy.
Craft Naboris versus Jimmy. Oh, Crack. Okay, Crack Naboris versus Jimmy.
Jimmy the Moblin. All right, let's do this.
Alright, I gotta set it to 2-player. And I gotta turn on the yellow Joy-Con. Have you operated these before?
No.
I have my license.
Dude said he's certified.
Can you guys stand back here? And yours are the yellow. And you come over here. So you share the tablet.
Okay.
If you hold on the left Joy-Con, that one will vibrate. And the right one's the same way. So hold both to move forward. If you want to turn, hold the opposite Joy-Con. So if you hold right, it will vibrate on the right, but that will make it turn left.
Okay.
Like classic Resident Evil tank controls.
Over is the winner.
Alright.
It's gonna be 2
Where's
seconds.
REVR?
Actually, forget the music. I had music, but we're short on time. Ready, set, fight!
Oh, and they're off. too heavy?
I think they're both too heavy.
The calamity strikes.
Oh,
Here, come
no.
on, folks. Come on, Jimmy!
Oh no.
Oh my God,
Jimmy,
you're
you're
gonna
heading
do
for
my
disaster! Stay away from the ledge, buddy!
Zelda said a strong defense is the best offense.
Maybe neighbors love a whole new meaning.
Oh no! Oh no, Jimmy! Watch out for the ledge! Oh no!
Crash materials for the true Calamity Ganon all along.
Is the right Joy-Con have a laser in it or something?
I don't know how to make it. I think might move it all.
Jimmy said he's out of here!
You see, this is kind of like the idea of Labo though, because even if it's not like quote unquote working, it's still so funny.
Yeah.
They made this, right? And like now we're having our own fun with it. I love that. Frequency, what?
You can control the frequency of the vibration.
She's moving! She's coming for you, Jimmy.
Someone put on the Zelda fight music.
She said, I'm done sealing Ganon. I'm sealing you. I feel like my phone's going to move.
I know. I wonder if the laser's being blocked, possibly by any of
There's
the
nothing
friends.
laser related, it's all vibration.
It's all vibrations, that's right, yeah. It must just be the weight then.
Alright, I think we just have to decide this with audience applause.
Who likes Jimmy? I've noted all of your faces. And who likes Zelda? I don't know, what do you think, Ash?
It's hard to say.
I figured out how to move.
What?
Uh-oh, oh wait.
Oh, he's moving.
But at what cost?
Jimmy, no!
Jimmy, fight back!
Oh,
Fill it
actually,
happy, bud!
Oh, they're both moving now. Oh, okay.
I have no idea how this would go.
This is perfect. Just so you know.
Okay, just in case that ends with one of them winning, I'm gonna start calling numbers for trivia. So you can line up at the Q&A mic. Do we have 167? If you have card 167. No? 035.
035.
Ayo! I saw your
Metroid hat.
Behind them, 079.
I think we're close.
Yo!
Uh-oh.
Jimmy! Jimmy!
Behind them, 52. 052.
Nice.
Hey, there we are.
Jimmy, throw it in reverse!
I dig the shirt.
And behind that, 056.
Ayo.
In the back there. Cool.
She's jiggling.
Ayo. All ages.
And the last one I'll call for now is, wow, I know someone with this name, 112.
Oh, I love it.
All right. 112 the number? Heck yeah.
Nice.
112 the person?
Also, heck yeah.
Oh, bye, Jimmy. Jimmy's trying to flee from battle.
Yeah.
Alright, I do need to call an end to the battle cam.
All right, one more cheer for our contestants.
Who did we say had more applause earlier?
I think it was close, but I do think Jimmy had slightly.
I also think engineering perspective. Now, you both get a prize because you both had to do a lot of work, but the prize will be different. So, for Jimmy.
That's right! Never give up, never surrender!
Please stop. I really appreciate your
Never give up.
Jimmy, this is yours. A $10 eShop card. And because you were in a very involved challenge, you still had to put in a lot of work. These stickers are going to anyone who gets their trivia question right, but Zelda will get first pick of 2 of these.
Nice.
You can look through them.
She made a divine beast.
Alright, it's trivia time.
We will probably not do a ton of this with the time that we have left, so I did create a shortcut to stop trivia early as needed. You can choose a category, either listen, identify the song that I'm playing on the Labo piano, learn, questions based on actual science that applies to Labo, or lore, questions based on completely fictional information like the Labo characters. If you win, you get a Mel Makes designed sticker. They're all based on video game characters or landscapes. She's great. Check her out. These are current that I bought these off of her Redbubble. So there's a few examples.
Love that.
What was that page?
one.
I want the
Yeah, there's a Spiral Mountain. Alright, what's our first contestant's name? Nova! Alright, Nova. Pick a category based on any of the blue words.
I will go with Ash one.
Okay, this is Ash's first song. The question is, which Super Smash Bros. Game does this song come from? Choices are Melee Brawl, for Wii U and 3DS, or Ultimate.
I think multiple choice, that's nice. Yeah!
Let's dance, come on!
Do you have an answer?
Wii U 3DS.
That is correct.
Nice. Well done.
I'll move these closer to where you go.
And what is your name? What's up, bro?
Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, one sticker.
All right, so yeah, pick a category.
Besides Ash 1.
Learn vibration.
Alright, according to Nintendo Labo, which frequency is the easiest vibration to detect?
Ha ha.
Let me know when you've got your answer.
Love!
160 hertz.
That is correct. Take it away.
Nice. Well done.
Nice job.
What's your name?
Matthew? Oh, yeah, Matthew.
Hello, Matthew.
What's up, Matt?
I'll go painting and learn.
Alright, which object is placed inside of a bottle of spray paint?
I actually knew this one.
Isn't it a ball?
It is a ball.
Yeah.
You may take a sticker.
Nice. Well
You
done.
learn this from the vehicle kit, which comes with a spray paint can, and they have you put a piece of cardboard inside to simulate the ball, so that you can feel it and hear it clacking around.
Y'all are very knowledgeable. Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
It's color.
Hello, Colin.
Well, continue the win streak, why don't
To
you?
learn about lights.
How many flashlights are inside the right Joy-Con of a Nintendo Switch?
So is this one. The big club one, the bigger that 2000.
These are the flashlights that help the IR camera.
I'm gonna go with 2.
I am sorry, that is incorrect. The answer was 4.
But thank you for trying.
There are 2 on each side, and there's wide beams and long beams.
I didn't know it either, so it's not just you, I promise.
Alright, we can call at least another person up. Does anyone have 074?
074?
How about 166?
Damn.
098?
Hey!
Nice.
Yeah!
Next contestant on the trivia time.
Trivia runs on Duncan. Love that hat.
Okay. I'll go with listen Ash 1.
That's the one we did already.
How about listen Ash 2?
Alright, Ash's other song choice. Which video game series is this song from? Here's the clip.
Okay, wait on me. I'm gonna guess Mega Man X.
Nice, you got it right. Do you know which Mega Man X? It's okay if you don't.
That's actually 2 of them.
That's true. It is actually
I
S2.
don't know which ones exactly.
That's okay. It's X5 and X6.
It's okay, they
Well
sound-
done.
Yeah, that's why I asked for series and not name, because I didn't want to get into that.
No, totally.
But you may take a sticker.
By the way, Ash,
Yes.
subscribers to the channel. So great to meet you.
Thank you so much. Very great to meet you. Thank you so much for your support.
Real quick, do we have 093?
Yeah.
093.
Nice.
Where's Freeman? What happened? Where's 3 at?
Any category suit your fancy?
Let's go with Azran 2. Listen.
This is my song choice. And here's a selection of Nintendo series. Which one is it from?
Sounds like Mario. It's not one of the answers.
A little hard. I'm gonna go with Splatoon.
I regret to inform you the answer was F0. That is Firefield.
That series I didn't play.
That's a deep cut too. I appreciated that one.
Yeah.
I chose that. Look, it was easy to play on the cardboard piano with a limited number of notes, and I had Firefield in my head from Nintendo Land with the Twister Race version.
Well, that's a good remix.
Okay, I'll call two more now. 156. 053.
Oh.
Almost.
We already did 112. 042.
Huh? Who is it? Luigi!
Luigi.
And if anyone has 082, go behind them.
Go, Luigi.
Go, Lewis.
Or if anyone has 202, go behind them. 071. 182.
I'm just gonna.
Meantime, Luigi pick his question. And give us your name if you want.
Hey, I'm Ash.
Oh.
Hey!
So what?
Get up on stage.
Yeah.
Which one? I'll do Caitlin 1.
What?
Alright, Caitlin's song choice is from a Final Fantasy, but is it? If you don't know your Roman numerals, it's either 4, 5, 9, or 11.
I picked
So
ones
that's
that are all similar looking numerals to each other. I'm not sorry.
I don't even play Final Fantasy. I've
Fix that.
Never too late to get into it.
So which number speaks to you?
I'll just guess. I'm bad at Roman numerals too.
I got 4, 5, 9, or 11.
I'll just guess 5. Speaking to me, that's what
It's not 5.
We're sorry.
It's the best one. 9. Go play 9.
Opinions expressed do not reflect the views of all panelists.
Yeah.
It reflects the best panelist.
Spicy. Getting spicy.
Do we have lucky number 13 by chance? 013?
Hey.
Heyo. Love the shirt.
I think this will be our last contestant before we move to the final section. I'll let you know if we already did it. I'm sorry they're not turning purple for some reason. Okay, 3DS. Yes, there was information about the 3DS in the Switch game Nintendo Labo. What does the Nintendo 3DS employ to create its stereoscopic 3D?
Have these sound like Star Wars terms?
So the options are holography, a parallax barrier, a polarizing lens, or a lenticular screen. I'm sorry, it was the parallax barrier.
Good try though, thank you.
I was
I
told
believe the
it was too.
lenticular screen is how curved monitors do it.
All right.
But yeah, actually all 4 of these make a 3D effect on some device.
Parallax barrier.
So,
No, of course it is.
a little tricky. And now this manhole cover will take us away from the extra trivia questions. All right, so final few minutes that we have here is a smattering of topics related to Labo and its larger impact. So not about the products themselves really, but first off, Nintendo had an initiative to get Labo into schools, and they partnered with the Institute of Play. So I went online and I read the lesson plans that they had suggested for any schools that utilize the kits. Thoughts?
I want to be the fun patrol anywhere. That sounds like such a fun job. Literally, like one of the roles they hear is fun patrol, the student who makes sure the group is smiling and having fun while learning. That sounds like such a fun role to play in any organization.
I wish that was my job title.
Right.
Like, have any of you been to the Nintendo booth out there? It's like it's just Pokemon stuff.
Yeah.
But if you go to like take a picture with Pikachu or whatever, there are people that are getting you so hyped to get ready for this mascot picture. It's so,
Yeah.
That's like the energy I imagine Fun Patrol has.
I would argue we're Fun Patrol right now.
True.
At least for the next 7 minutes and 55 seconds.
Good point, good point.
Are you having fun?
Yeah!
Good job, David. Way to
Nice.
I got it.
Yeah, so the lesson plans basically consisted of first have the students partner up and build the Labo with the on-screen instructions so that they get hands-on. And then just have them play around with it, and they suggested challenges like take turns catching fish and see which team catches 5 fish first.
I think it almost would have been a waste if they didn't have an education initiative with this, because if they had just kept it within the gaming space, I think its reach would have been fairly limited. So I think it would have been almost silly not to have a wider education push for this.
Yeah, there's a blue section at the top of the screen. It's Make, Play, Discover. If you go to the Discover section in any Labo software, you can read up on how everything works. They will break down, here's the IR camera, here's the gyroscope. They'll explain it in the most basic terms, or if you let it, there are options where they will like go into mass detail, like beyond like college level vocabulary in there if you want it. You can say no, but it's in there.
Is that like the Google Chrome of like stats for nerds settings?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Pretty much. And then they had to go into Toy-Con Garage at the end of every lesson and program something for themselves.
Right.
So the lesson plan said, have your students try programming a working instrument, for example.
We didn't even get into the garage, did we?
Oh, that's coming up.
To the very end, yeah.
Oh, whoopsie.
Spoilers.
You know who did get into the garage? Jimmy Fallon and the Roots with Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande is my favorite Final Fantasy character.
Yeah, that screenshot there, I'm not playing the song for copyright purposes, but when No Tears Left to Cry came out, they did a cover with Labo instruments on Jimmy Fallon. The video is still out there. It's on the Jimmy Fallon YouTube. So feel free to check it out. And there's a behind the scenes breakdown video also. But Fallon's got a guitar, and that giant robot we talked about earlier was programmed to be Questlove's drum set.
Oh, cool.
He would move the robot arms or flip the visor or take steps to move the feet pedals. Like it was programmed that he was drumming that one.
I'd be so sweaty by the end of that.
I am absolutely stuck on how perfect a collaboration Bill Nye and Nintendo Labo is. You could not ask for a better collaboration.
True, though.
That's so good.
Yeah, lots of science involved.
Is the Bill Nye thing also a video on like YouTube?
Well, we'll have to see if Nintendo did anything with it because it was on their channel. They brought him on to that one, and sometimes they like to archive stuff for seemingly no reason. So we can double check that sometime. Now the Creators Contest. This could have been its own panel. Let me know if you would like it to be its own panel in a future year for me to pick.
Yeah!
Woo! Nice. Sounds like it's gonna happen.
So this is not doing it justice, but there were contests where you made your own custom Labo and programmed it to meet the specifications of the contest. There was like best decorated or best instrument. We're gonna see a couple of those now. There's an entire bike made of cardboard!
I told you it gets crazy.
Amazing.
That's a
Jordan Booth in the Australian division of the competition took a metal bike frame and built all the rest of the master cycle out of cardboard, and then you could play the Toy-Con motorbike like Mario Kart 8 was integrated into it. You could sit on the bike and control it with the bike handle.
Wow.
People are so incredibly creative. It's wild.
This is like what I was talking about earlier, that like it's way beyond folding a couple of cardboard pieces for a house and making silly sounds.
And speaking of houses, Jordy turned theirs into Luigi's Mansion and won one of the design competitions. So functionality, but like, look at that design, and now look what it does.
What?
That's so cool.
That's sick.
I had a fun time overlapping those pictures for that effect.
I feel like our earlier contestant Zelda might own the IP rights to the Master Cycle Zero, though. I'm just.
Is that what you rode to get to PAX?
Yeah. Did you destroy hordes and Age of Calamity with it? That was DLC only though. But yeah, glow in the dark paint. Okay, pocket floor piano was in the instrument contest. You can step on it, or if you are disabled, you can wave your hand over it while it's on a table or on a wall.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
And it's completely portable because it rolls up like a yoga mat.
And I'm assuming that's almost entirely using like IR.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Here's a clip from the under 12 division in Japan where they had to program the best game.
Is that toilet paper?
Yeah. And look at the switch screen. It is measuring how much toilet paper the girl pulls in the time limit. This is a girl who is 12 years of age or younger. I don't know the age.
She's
But this was
creating.
the kids division. Yes. Under 12.
Amazing.
I feel bad for every other kid. So like, they got stomped.
And then just a couple more design nods. The blaster from the VR kit modeled after Splatoon, and the robot kit augmented with wings, and every feather is cardboard.
Wow. That's so cool. It looks beautiful.
Very quickly, the vehicle kit found its way into Mario Kart 8 and Grid Auto Sport. You can still play the Labo modes on those games too.
Where my grid fans at? Yeah.
And the Labo VR kit, this is a limited selection, but Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Captain Toad, Smash Brothers, and there's like a bunch of smaller games like Spice and Wolf VR or this one indie platformer game I can't remember the name of, but there's a surprising amount of VR support.
When's the most recent game to do it? Like years ago, I imagine.
Yeah, I can't recall.
Probably Ultimate, I would think.
Yeah.
Might be. So, to wrap up, this will be my final point. So, good job, Pete, for managing the time. In the future, they have stepped away from the Labo, but there is still that part of Nintendo that wants people to build. So, we got the budget title Game Builder Garage, which takes Toy-Con Garage and makes it an entire game programming lesson.
Pretty cool.
That was like a $30 like game,
Yep.
right? Yeah, it was like, like you were saying, it was just the software side of it, right? Is that more or less it?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I see Game Builder Garage, I'd be curious to see a cross section of like audiences who really got into Game Builder Garage and built stuff with it, and people who really got into making complex Super Mario Maker levels. Because I feel like that comes from the same side of your brain. I don't know if that's right brain or left brain, but I feel like there's a similar kind of building appeal there.
But whichever camp you're in, I think the lesson that Labo teaches us all is that you can have limited resources and you can build something no matter how little you have. You can tape a webcam to a mic stand because you got no other way to record your battle. You can be a small streamer who plays piano in their bedroom. You can take cardboard and bring it to life. You can do anything.
True.